Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Live from the GBM studios in Belize City, it's Open Your Eyes. Start your morning right with your hosts, Sabrina Daly and Isani Caetano.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
I am Isani Caetano. Good morning.
And good morning, Isani.
Good morning,
How you
Sab.
doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good.
All proper.
Yes.
Morning, Sab. Morning,
Yes,
morning. Now I feel better.
Morning, Mr. Isani Caetano. No, I'm glad you get the outfit memo, the color memo. Look what you only match up here. Fan, top to
I think you were
bottom.
looking at my wardrobe last night.
None
early
at
this
all.
morning.
None at all. You did bring out the new fits, but I love it. I love the style. I love the look. And how you doing?
Man, I'm good.
Yeah.
It is the 12th of August. We're midweek, right? There's a lot that we've been doing since the start of the week, but there's also a lot that we can look forward to going towards the end of the week. And I think it's a happy place. You know, sometimes normally we say midweek, man, I just midweek, I'll feel tired and low again and stuff. No, I think based on everything that's been going on, getting to this point, for me, it just builds up the anticipation as to what the remainder of the week will look like.
That's a good way to look at it. You know, a lot of people sometimes.
Well, leave it to optimism, right? Glass half full as opposed to half empty, right?
I want to take that from you, of all people. I'm kidding.
I'm an optimist.
But, you know, it's good to have that sense of thinking, especially as we approach, or especially as we're on the hump day. A lot of people, you know, depending on the week they're having, they might be saying, shucks, I still have half more this week to go. And others might be having the state of thinking like Isani, looking forward to what the remainder of the week unfolds. And so I think for me, I'm a little bit between on both of them. I appreciate what the week has looked like so far for me, and I'm looking forward to what the rest will look like. But I'm also looking forward to my weekend too.
Yes.
I know that we've been experiencing some showers as well, so I think
some
the gloomy
extreme heat.
skies.
The
The gloomy skies, I want to make people want their home right now, Isani. But you know what? One of the things I said to myself last night, I have to ask you because I know that this is technically your last day in the week with us on the show.
Yeah.
And so we want to see you Monday again after the GST rush and the buying all the school kids things and whatnot. How you doing with that? You have your plan for this weekend?
Well, I'll be honest with you, right? And to our viewers as well. I was looking forward to the GST-free weekend for school supplies only because I said I'll purchase a laptop for my daughter.
Okay.
Right? But you know when I got family that states?
Oh, you want to make nice honey? No,
Don't
barrel.
know family that states.
Boxer
Don't
barrel.
worry about it. I'll just handle it from this end. So now the whole excitement I had for either go to Cellular World or go to Full Tech or Angelus, wherever they sell laptops, that is gone, right? Because we don't take care of that part there for states, right?
I also saw this other post online where one of my Instagram friends posted like her like the school list that she have to get like books wise for her kid in infant 2. And all the school books, and this kid is going to like a private school, came up to $800+.
Yeah, don't even ask me. Don't even
that's
ask me.
That's so suffer?
We have
my gosh.
We have the private school expenses too. But this is something that I find admirable, right?
Yeah.
In my case, when you have a spouse who is on top of things, right? It makes your life a whole lot easier. Now, I know you say I'm lazy, I don't do my thing, right?
Yeah, you have your strengths, you have your ministry.
Yeah, my portfolio. No, but I don't have to worry about books, about uniforms, and those things, right?
Yeah.
My primary concern is keeping up with the other expenses, which are equally, and some would argue, a bit more significant respect to that.
Yeah.
But we all have our roles to play, right? Because back to school and our one-person preparation, it takes, in many instances, both parents, if they're involved and they want to see the progress of their kids through the education system,
Yeah.
it's an investment of both parents, right?
Yeah. And I think
so, yeah.
that's where, if you don't have both parents, that's where the village comes in, you know? And so it's just something that I've been thinking about. And I know that since today was Wednesday, I wanted to ask you about that.
But yeah, I might be out and about this weekend,
Yeah.
not shopping for stationaries, but I'm going out there so just to go see people and fast leave it, right?
Oh, big up you.
And
Big up
I
you.
think I'm hearing something, and I don't want to preempt what the show is going to be looking like later on. But I hear them about a super sale this weekend are coming up.
So you still going to stretch your dollar is what
I
you're
go
saying?
fast.
You going window shop. Well, here's the thing, guys. We do got to jump into what we have lined up. I see some of our viewers saying their usual good mornings. I see Michelle Sampson saying the weather got lazy. And that's what I was telling you. With this weather, I don't want to make or break. But let's jump into our show lineup. As Isani mentioned, we do have something for you guys, hoping to take advantage of a super sale. But we're going to start things off with a topic we're calling from alert to action inside a search and rescue operation. Then after that, digital literacy, building digital skills for Belize's future, and on what Isani was talking about, the downtown super sale, bringing business and shoppers back downtown. So this one's for the folks here in Belize City.
All right, and if you guys are at home and maybe you live on our rock or you missed the news last night or you don't know what happened wrong and about, here are 5 things that you need to learn this morning or know before you leave your homes if you're just waking up, right? So BTL's SpeedNet deal comes under cabinet review. The social partners demand full disclosure before any cabinet talks, and this is also in reference to the proposed smart acquisition, right? And then the public is urged to avoid any and all crocodile interactions.
I mean, avoid all. if you know me.
And here's an equally important one, and this is regional, but it also affects us here at home, right? The Caribbean judges speak out on the CCJ confidentiality breach. This is an interesting conversation that we ought to have this morning. And of course, KTV remix last night, alternative night.
Yeah.
And things going on, right?
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that for now until we get into the conversation a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But I want to start off with what's making headlines across the country, and it's been doing so since last Tuesday when the BTL Board of Directors took this controversial 8-2 vote to proceed with the acquisition of SpeedNet Communications, right? So we all know that the Prime Minister is, in a sense, closely related to this whole thing because it's his family members, his siblings who are invested in this company, right? And BTL from several months ago had expressed an interest in purchasing SpeedNet Communications, which is the parent company for Smart. Now, all of this talk has been taking place since last Tuesday when this vote was taken. But it wasn't until yesterday that the cabinet, led by Prime Minister John Briceño, was able to hear from BTL and all these other stakeholders involved in this proposed sale. And so Chairman Mark Lizarraga and CEO Ivan Tesocum made presentations before these senior government ministers yesterday. And kudos to Paul for that camp out, right? Because
8 hours.
From last week when we found out that, this presentation is going to take place, we agreed collectively that we need to put him on the ground and come whatever happens, he needs to get interviews.
Yeah.
If not from the Prime Minister himself, from the other cabinet ministers who would have attended the session yesterday and, were a part of this presentation. But out of it came interesting tidbits, I would say. Tidbits because we never get privy to the whole thing that happened inside the cabinet.
Yeah.
But Chairman Lizarraga, in a sense, was candid about certain aspects of this whole proposed merger, right? And I think one of the things that stands out to me, and I've been following this since last week as well, when these media owners who have banded together to share their concerns about what they believe will be a threat to freedom of expression, free speech, etc., right? For their various reasons. And so when this question was put to Chairman Lizarraga yesterday, he essentially batted it down. But it's not to say that perhaps on the media owners' end, they don't have a legitimate issue or concern, right? But for me,
he spoke of them being professionals.
Yes. So for me, it's just one of those areas that I'm looking at closely, because Paul used the expression that they're crying wolf, right? I would use the expression that perhaps they're chicken little in a scenario where, for them, the sky may be falling. Now, when you look at freedom of expression and freedom of speech, that is holy grail, right? That allows us to be able to share our thoughts and opinions to a mass of people responsibly. Now, if you're saying that based on past experiences that you believe your right to freedom of speech and expression or to convey certain messages have been impinged by the state or state actors, that's a serious thing, right?
It's interesting that you have that point of view, because
I'm only at this point, I haven't weighed in yet. I'm only echoing what has been the sentiment of some of the media owners, right?
Yeah.
That they're saying, look, in the past, this has happened, and this is what raises the red flag for us if there is one company in control of the entire telecoms scene.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also following it closely, obviously, for the reasons of being able to refer back to our viewers here. And so we know that there are multiple narratives and multiple concerns from people with their own, I'd say, stake in the matter. You have the general public side as owners of BTL who should be concerned about their taxpayers' dollars that are being invested in this deal or can potentially be invested in this deal. There are the workers of BTL that are fearing for the security of their jobs. We saw a commenter last night share her thoughts on other topics involving employment at BTL, and I believe that question was also posed to Chairman Mark Lizarraga about the communications
Workers union
and their position on the matter. And I believe he expressed that they still have to speak further on it because there was a percentage of them who voted against it.
Upwards of 80% of them are at this point against
exactly.
this proposed
so
deal.
that still has to be discussed. I saw a commenter last night talk about things like pensions and insurance and, again, job security. Then there's the union side, who they want a seat at the table and they want to be together collectively. In this case, not be separated.
We'll get to that part of the conversation shortly, right? But there are a few things that I'm looking at here. So this deal, should it go through, and once it's consummated, would not necessarily happen right away, right? I believe this also requires a process, a very, very thorough process of being able to assimilate, if I could use that description, right? So then it not be an overnight thing. Perhaps it might be a year or several months down the road once it reaches to the point where it is consummated. But at the same time, as you mentioned earlier, Sab, the opposition against this thing is loud.
Yeah, and it's from so many different corners.
Loud. And if we're saying that we need more information to be shared, and I say we as in not only the public, but all of these other stakeholders, right? If we're saying, look, man, be forthright and share with us more information so we understand what the pros and cons are, so that when the regulator decides on which direction this thing ought to go, we, the public, are properly informed. I think that's concern number one, right? For everybody who has a dog in the fight, so to speak, right? But at the same time, too, when you look at it, And I think this was one of the questions. What benefits are there to gain for the Belizean people? And so Chairman Lizarraga was also saying, well, maybe we could reach at a point where we lower costs on telecom services, right?
Yeah.
If that were to be true, I don't know that many people would be complaining, but man, a lot of times we make that kind of promise and then not really happen, right? So it's almost as if though you're leaving the bone for the shadow.
Yeah.
Right? But that's just one part of it. Now we'll jump into the second part of the conversation where the social partners who have also banded together are saying to government, look, yes, we have an invitation to sit down on Thursday, but no divide and conquer will happen here. Because that's how I interpret it.
Yeah.
Right? They're saying, look,
Only certain ones are invited.
We are a collective and we move together, right? I think it's 4 or 5 of them that have formed this coalition, so to speak. And when the Prime Minister was asked yesterday about the Belize network of NGOs and NIAB, as opposed to only the National Trade Union Congress of Belize and the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry, he kind of left it open-ended and walked off,
He
right?
walked off.
But the signal is there and it's very clear. We're not moving individually or only 2 away or whatever. It's all of us collectively require or demand that seat at the table because that's what it's going to be on Thursday.
Yeah.
We want our voices heard, so you can't take we one or so you have to take all of it together.
I want to pick your brain on the topic of consultation, and I definitely want to include you guys in the conversation on this, so please share your thoughts. We've heard from Minister Julius Espat saying that BTL is publicly owned by Belizeans, right?
And privately run,
And
yes.
so people are saying we need to be consulted. We need more information. What do you think would be the most effective way for that consultation to take place? Do you think like maybe a press conference? Would Belizeans be, satisfied with something like that to be better informed? I believe we did have a press conference in the past.
I don't know if a press conference equates to or suffices for a public consultation. Perhaps are 2 different things, right? But I'll say this. I found it curious when asked the very same question that Chairman Lizarraga deferred to the Public Utilities Commission.
Yes.
And said, okay, well, you want to talk consultation about this process? The PUC are the ones who should be having this consultative process, right?
With the general public.
Yeah, and any other interested party. Right?
I don't know, though.
But here's the thing, right? Going back to exactly what you're saying. If the company, by and large, is owned by the people of Belize, then in a sense and to a large extent, the company is answerable to the people of Belize, right?
Yeah.
So if we're asking certain questions, we're making certain demands, I don't know that we want to go through another party to get that satisfaction.
Yes.
We're coming to you directly. I think that's part of the philosophy here.
And when you
right?
get reactions like what we saw yesterday from the Prime Minister walking off when the media was asking questions in regards to other union members wanting to be a part of the conversation, I think it presents a cold front. Belizeans are already concerned. They already have their thoughts and feelings about this deal.
Yeah.
The last thing we want is to feel like we have to almost beg for information. And I think that's what some people are feeling at this time.
So what we're clamoring for is for all parties, right? BTL, Public Utilities Commission, the government of Belize, to be forthcoming with the information.
I also
That's
want to
basically what Belizean people are demanding at this point.
But I think on the flip side, one of the arguments that we're hearing from the board, from the chairman of the board, Mr. Lizarraga yesterday spoke of misinformation and mischief making. So maybe this is one of the things that they're worried about. If you go and you give out the information loosely, everybody come up with their own opinion.
No, hold on. You know what is the seed of misinformation?
Lack of
information.
Yep.
Right? So, man run off with their own story.
Yeah.
When you know forthcoming and forthright with the information to begin with.
Yep.
So man start speculate, theorize, and push your own 2 cents in or something where it ill-informed from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's how I look at that.
No, I agree with you.
So when you're clear and transparent, these are the facts. This is the process we intend to follow. These are the people who stand to be impacted one way or the other by this decision. Then everybody is informed and educated about what is taking place, right? When you do it behind closed doors, it leaves certain room for speculation. And that's what leads to misinformation. All right, make we move on now.
All right.
We got this crocodile thing, right?
Oh, Lord.
I think it was over the weekend, you know.
Yeah, I saw that video.
I was maxing and relaxing and chilling. And I see something pop up on my phone, right?
Yeah.
And I just clicked on it. Now, I wanted to know what it was, because initially I never think that was a crocodile, right?
What you may think that?
From a distance, I thought it would have been, you know, could have been a shark.
Oh, okay,
could have been any
That makes
other,
sense.
you know, marine species.
Yeah.
Could have been a manatee, whatever. This is from a distance. But I realized that it drew closer and closer. Now, my thing is, right, when I realized what was taking place, I said, Belizean people not land. Belizean people hard ears. You know why? First thought that came to mind, an incident like this had happened either earlier this year or late last year, where a woman was attacked by a crocodile in Keycorker in the area of the Split. And so Dr. Marissa Tejes and all of these other environmentalists and conservationists came forward and said, look, this is the animal's behavior at a certain time of day. So if they look for food or whatever.
They come out at nighttime to feed, right?
Yeah. Why are we still partying and consuming liquor and having a grand old time at the Split or in the vicinity of the Split, knowing that this thing is a live threat?
Isani, what sweet me the most, that video, and I wish we could play it in its entirety because it's not that long. I mean, also kudos to the man for trying to ensure that the other person came in, but she did hold on to it, bear. I get it. Like, oh my gosh, I
no
have
drink
so many
is to
thoughts.
be wasted.
Maybe for you, Isani. I have the
Not
way,
for me, you
but
see
I
it
know.
there.
But I have so many thoughts about this. One, maybe perhaps because I'm not like a water person, so you know, I catch me in a water where I can't drink all of that.
Well, the next conversation will be for you when you start the show.
For
proper,
sure,
right?
and I'm looking forward to it. But I definitely think that there's a deeper conversation that should be had with some of these establishments as well that are, you know, near the coast that have people go in the water and whatnot. I know it attracts tourists and locals alike, but perhaps more signage is something that is needed. I saw a viewer last night share a thought about having certain barriers placed there as well. But what we heard from Marissa Tejes, the executive director of the Crocodile Research Coalition, is that there's an issue with people feeding these marine animals. And crocodile don't know be your friend. You know what tame a crocodile friend. I promise you, you won't. No matter what you give them. And so I think we really need to remember that these animals are wild. And when it comes to things like this, engaging with them, whether you're splashing or you find it funny or you're filming and all of that, it's almost like your fault if you end up in a situation where you're bitten or where you're harmed. And so I think we really need to be more responsible when it comes to things like this. I'll tell you, there are people brave. If you still did it, panda that step there like that. Imagine a crocodile decide, you know what, make I go for all right now, I'll bite up you, sir. No, sir. You must never hungry the entire time. You must just want to heal name, but no, not me. Me not take the risk.
No, you're right. There's a certain responsibility that should come with this thing, man. And then going back to what Dr. Tejes has said repeatedly, we, for whatever reason, believe that we need to interact with these animals.
Yeah.
Right? We need to feed them with chicken.
We brave when we
fat,
know they're in the
whatever.
water, Isani.
But even in some cases, we're in the water and still pay them no mind, as if though these things are predatory creatures, right? So I was again scrolling last week and it came to my device. A crocodile here in Belize City. A huge
Oh yes, I saw that.
crocodile.
That was scary.
And the people in a fight with the crocodile for putting a small truck back, right? And I was like, well, they did the right thing. They relocated the animal. But it speaks to the population of crocodiles in and around this country.
Yeah.
Right? We are coexisting with these creatures. And we have to find some kind of responsible way to coexist harmoniously.
Yeah.
Right? We can't hunt them out and kill them, but at the same time, we want to be able to enjoy certain spaces too, right? So it goes back to this video and then we'll move on. It's the reason why we need to be responsible.
Yeah.
If the thing now come out in a broad daylight, a midday or whatever, you perhaps better being in water at that time as opposed to that time of night when these people are merrymaking in the water.
Yeah, and please,
right?
man, not feed
Anyway,
the
I
thing,
left
man.
that there.
Not feed the thing. All right, let's move on.
Here's another interesting one and an equally important one, right? So over the weekend as well, the Trinidad Express published an investigative piece where they were looking at what I describe as mutiny on board the CCJ, right? So you have a majority of these judges who sit on the CCJ bench pretty much saying, you know, really check for the leadership of Winston Anderson as the president of the CCJ.
I like how you just
right?
say it so plain and straight, Isani.
No, but it's a sentiment that they're sharing amongst each other, right?
I love that. Okay.
But the concern is, and, you know, heads of justice systems from around the region weighed in via a joint statement yesterday. They're not so much concerned about the individual cases and what have you. They don't look upon that. They're looking at the fact that there's been a breach. Because when this information gets out there in the public, this information from the very beginning ought to have been dealt with and treated with the utmost confidentiality, right? Now that is out there in the public. Now, it creates a serious concern.
It's interesting. It's an interesting thought, yes.
Because they referenced a matter that came out of Belize, which had to do with Anwar Barrow and the FSC, right? So he shared with us a brief comment yesterday, and I think it was lukewarm, but to each his own, right? Man never want to go too much into details with that or whatsoever. He said his piece and I respect it, but I think it was a bit tepid, right? But beyond that, all of these people are saying, man, this thing should have been dealt with better than that. But to me, if I look at the bigger picture, the CCJ is our final appellate jurisdiction, at least for Belize, right?
Yeah.
We adopted the CCJ several years ago when we moved away from the Privy Council.
Beyond that is the International Court.
Yeah, but you know, care certain matters are supposed to be handled locally and regionally to the World Court, right? But the point that I'm making is we should be very, very concerned about this turmoil within the CCJ, because where else do we go should this whole thing fall apart? And I'm not saying that it will, and I'm not wishing that it should, but what happens worst case scenario? We not got nowhere else to go, right? So that's an important point to make there and something to consider. And then from another perspective, and I was thinking about this morning, man, we as the Caribbean and the CARICOM bloc can't get it together. Because with the beef that CARICOM over the appointment of the SecGen.
Yeah, Dr. Carla Burnett.
Now with the beef that is CCJ about the leadership of the president.
It's the toxic environment.
Yeah, rough.
It's
and Trinidad,
terrible.
for whatever reason, is in the center of it in terms of exposing certain things and taking strong positions and what have you. The CCJ is seated in Port of Spain, Trinidad. I left that thing there.
One of the things I like about it, though, is that it reveals that everywhere have a level of toxicity, you know, like no job place is perfect, because apparently it even exists in the CCJ. That's the type of like humor I had about it. But I agree, there's a level of confidentiality that we should be concerned about, especially if there are cases that are cited as examples in such a matter. I think they should be concerned about the margin that they're crossing at that point.
Yeah.
But we do have to wrap things up here with this discussion, Isani. It's been an interesting morning, just hearing, thoughts on different matters and sharing our view as well. We are going to now jump into our weather update, brought to you. Alrighty, let's go into our first break because we have a packed show this morning. We're going to break up our first conversation in half, Isani. And so when we come back, we'll be speaking to the Coast Guard, the swimming members from the Coach Andrew Swimming Club, the 501 Lifeguard Swimming Club, and they will be sharing their experience of what took place on Friday. And then when we come back after that, we'll be speaking to members of the Belize Coast Guard. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing star 100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
Every dream begins with an opportunity, and every opportunity has the power to change a life. This year, Belize Bank proudly welcomes 16 outstanding new scholars during its 14th annual Scholarship Award ceremony, recognizing young Belizeans whose academic excellence, leadership, and determination inspire us all.
When I look around the room today, I see future entrepreneurs who will build businesses. I see future doctors who will heal families. I see engineers who will design infrastructure, teachers which will inspire the next generation.
For Belize Bank, a scholarship is more than financial assistance. It's a commitment to each student's future through guidance, encouragement, and mentorship from members of our management team. Today, we celebrate 16 new scholars, more than 250 lives transformed, one shared future. Because when we empower our youth, we empower our nation.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you never in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try keep me the coffee warm for later.
Where do you know?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool.
Uh-huh.
For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
When your baby feels comfortable, you feel confident. Because every little moment deserves protection you can trust. Kushkin's diapers are designed with ultra-absorbent layers that lock in leaks while staying soft, dry, and gentle on delicate skin. So your baby can play freely and you can enjoy every smile without worry. Kushkin's diapers, comfort they feel, protection you trust. Kushkin's diapers and wipes are available countrywide at a supermarket near you.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word.
The Bible says, "Why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in times of trouble? Trouble is a word we like to avoid and an experience we want to escape. But how we respond to trouble will make us bitter or it'll make us better. It can make us question God or cause us to go in quest of God. If we yield to our higher nature, then surely we will find the goodness of God in our trouble. But if we yield to our lower nature, we will embrace self-pity, asking, why me, God? Arthur Ashe of Virginia chose to follow the higher path when he contracted AIDS through a blood transfusion during heart surgery. The way he dealt with AIDS, the disease that took his life, inspired and encouraged many. Ashe could have become embittered, but he maintained a graceful attitude. He explained, if I ask why me about my troubles, I would have to ask why me about my blessings. Why am I winning Wimbledon? Why am I marrying a beautiful, gifted woman and having a wonderful child? Ashe's attitude rebukes those of us who often grumble, why me? Why is God allowing this to happen? Instead of why me, maybe we should ask, why not me? Maybe we need to sing the old song, are you ever burdened with a load of care? Does a cross seem heavy you're called to bear? Count your many blessings, every doubt will fly, and you will be singing as the days go by.
Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Welcome back. We are jumping into our next conversation, and as we mentioned, it's going to be a two-part discussion. We're starting things off with the lifeguards, who we are actually calling heroes since the incident that took place last Friday. These are the members of the 501 Lifeguard and Andrew Swimming Club. We have here with us Andrew Gentle. He is the CEO at Coach Andrew Swimming Club. Also with us is Zephaniah Chaplin. He's a fitness trainer and a swimming instructor representing 501 Lifeguard. And Tevin Conarkey, head lifeguard and instructor, and Mason Gomez, junior lifeguard. And as I mentioned, all representing 501 Lifeguard. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Open Your Eyes. This is your first time with us here on the show. And we were just talking earlier about how people view you, gentlemen. You know, since last Friday's discussion, Isani mentioned candidly that if people did not know of you, they definitely know you by face, by name of the organization or the business that you represent. And I imagine you have been getting several calls, referrals from people after that extraordinary, heroic event that took place, regardless of the outcome. I want to extend my sincerest appreciation for all of you who were out there last Friday, for the action that you took, and just the nature of, you know, the human spirit that you showcased last Friday. Let's begin with perhaps how you're feeling at this time. This is the first time that we're having a candid discussion on a couch since the conversation, since having news media out there. What has been what has life been like since last Friday? How has it changed? Has it been the same? What have been your thoughts and your feelings regarding that? Can we begin with you, Mr. Tevin?
Yeah, so actually, I've been getting a lot of notice from the public more. Everywhere I go, people thank me for my bravery, but I'm still a bit, shaken by the whole scenario. I believe that we could have respond a little faster, but due to the fact that we got our own life going on, we got stuff that we got to get done. Basically, we did the most that we could have done. I'm actually glad that we were actually there, though. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I'm glad I could have depended on my team to be there.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the formation of 501. To take a step back. Where did this all begin, and why do you believe, after this lesson last Friday, that it is important for you guys to continue doing the work that you're presently doing? Maybe you could take that on, Andrew?
501 we started this whole stuff in 2014.
Oh.
right, at the YWCA, and it's been a long journey, and we started everything with Mr. Tevin, my uncle Tevin, right? He's my uncle, and we went on our first trip, right? So Tevin, I was like, Tev, I need your help. You know, we have a trip going on, so he'd be like, all right, Neff, let's do this. So we went on our first trip. It was a successful trip, and it was getting bigger. And I told Tevin, what should we do now? He said, well, we need to extend the business.
Yeah.
We need to come on more. And
Yeah. So these trips, were they like swimming? You guys were what? What were you guys doing?
so basically we work with different companies, right? So we usually go, they book us and we go with different small companies and big companies as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, all started with Andrew getting a couple gigs.
Yeah.
Right? And it was only me and him who took on these gigs. So I let him know that I believe that you need to go to Belmont Pond, you got to register this business, and we got to expand and get more members.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we have, how much members?
We have 15
No.
lifeguards now.
Wow.
And we have 2 females
Oh,
that is
nice.
becoming lifeguards.
You guys were stationed at the Grand Resort hosting swimming lessons
Yes.
last Friday
Yes.
when you got word of what was taking place near the Halover Bridge on the highway. Talk to us about what that situation was like, making that decision to do that.
Right. So basically me and my side instructor, Chaplin, was at Biltmore
Yeah.
Oh, Biltmore, okay.
teaching private lessons. And one of my clients called me and said, Coach, where you at? I said, I'm doing my normal classes that you do every day. And she'd be like, can you please go to by Halover? So I told Chaplin what we're going to do. So Chaplin said, well, let's do it. So I didn't want to call the junior lifeguards because they're ready to respond for anything.
Yeah.
And they were having class at that time. So I called Tevin and tell Tevin, Tev, we have a situation that we want you to go over. But Tevin said, I can't leave because of the swimming class that we're having. So I told him, just try your best to come over. So me and Mr. Chaplin went over. And we were the first person on the scene at that time. The bees were still out. We were running into the car and running out at that time. And yeah.
I don't know that anybody would have trained for a scenario where you're dealing with bees, you're dealing with someone in the water, you're dealing with someone else who has gotten stung by bees. In my mind, when I look at this thing, what else could have gone wrong in that scenario, right? But yet you're trained to maintain your composure and try to do the best that you can. Now, I think for me, and I may be jumping the gun in this part of the conversation, but for me, the most powerful part of that whole thing was when it was captured after the body has been recovered from the waters and you guys are consoling Shwelu's sibling. That had some other vibe and spirit and stuff, right? Like that spiritual part of me, right?
Too.
Yes,
When I saw that almost brought me to tears. I was like, and that's it right there.
Yeah, that moment.
How did this part come about? If you guys could describe that particular moment, let's go Zephaniah.
I grew up in a Christian home, right? So it's always been a part of my journey, trying to share God with others and minister to people to let them know that, hey, in times of need, in times of, I say, discomfort, He's always there with you. So, yes, even though we're prepared for the job, we still do our prayer, we still go to thank Him, ask Him for guidance, and including everything we do. So He's a big part of me, and I'm trying to do the same thing with the guys.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I want to get.
Go ahead.
And honestly, he's actually young too, right? So he's the one who brought up the body. He felt it for the family. He actually got emotional.
So breakout.
I guess that he knew the way that the brother felt. So that's the main reason why he prayed and the team assisted him.
Mr. Gomez, you are a junior lifeguard representing 501 Lifeguard. Now being a part of this organization, what does it mean to you?
It's mean a lot to me. It started off with just me loving the water. Then I wanted to teach. And these guys asked me if I wanted to be a lifeguard, which I love because of the water. And I always want to have safety around us. Especially with my family. Most of them probably don't know how to swim. But they feel safe that I'm around. So that's why I like to be a lifeguard and a swim instructor.
Oftentimes around this time of the year, summertime, Easter, we talk about the importance of water safety. Just earlier this morning, Isani was candidly talking about me, a grown adult, not knowing how to swim, and the fact that I might benefit from this discussion. But I think the reality is that swimming is something that a lot of people actually don't know how to do, adults included. As lifeguards, how are you guys encouraging people to face that fear, especially the adults? I think it's beyond just not knowing how to swim. You might have a fear at this point. And ensure that they learn this life skill for moments like this that might almost seem like something that would never happen. You know, as Isani laid out the elements involved on Friday. How do you encourage people to put this as a priority on their list of things they need to do or skills they need to learn for the safety of their lives?
Well, I would believe a quote that was said to me, those who fail to prepare must prepare to fail, right? So with that said, learning water safety is important given that you never may know when you need it, right? Whenever the chance comes into play that, hey, I'm going to use my water skills. It's important that you know these things, so in case of any emergency, you are prepared. And the way to encourage people is that nobody's born knowing how to swim, right? And you can always learn. You just take the amount of effort, it's going to be an output you get, right? The input equals the output. So always come with an open mind, ready to learn, and trust me, you're going to learn.
One of the things I've also observed about your entire organization is the equipment involved as well. This is more than just throwing a little sticker or a little floaty out there to bring you in. You know, you guys have heavy gear, you have devices on the table. I see this here, which make more sense to me, but I mean, we're in 2026 now, Isani. We have drones out on the table. Talk about some of the equipment that you guys use in your work and how it has helped you, not only on Friday, but in the service that you provide.
So basically, we're going to start off how we go on the trips. Right? First thing, as we jump on the boat, the job start. Right? Sometimes we go to different private islands, and the visual for us is poor. You know, and sometimes especially our drone is very important for us. Right, so we try to fly the drone, especially, you know, you can't fly with certain restrictions you have because of civil aviation. So we got you know, our certification from through them and stuff like that. And we fly the drone across, you know, we're gonna say, all right, Tev, I will radar the guys. This is where communication come. Because sometimes we go on trips, you know, and like it's big islands, and we have to stretch your team out, right? So the use of the walkie-talkies, it helped a lot with communication. You don't want to whistle or say, hey, boy, you know, like that. So we try to communicate a lot and keep them wake up. You know, we talk, you know, we call each other alphas. That is the team leader.
Exactly.
Right? So we say, Alpha, how you guys doing? Say, I'm okay, I just need a little water. But, you know, we get it fast communication. Instead of moving from your post, they stay there and we try to, you know, move around.
So the drone job is to like survey the island so that we could see the areas that are more dangerous and the area that we could let the clients swim, right? The walkie-talkie is because we cannot really move from off our post. So Anjo is the one who moves around. We radar him if we need water, if we need anything, because we got to keep our visual on our clients also, right? Because safety first at all times. The binoculars is to look after the clients that are more farther out, the ones that are stronger swimmers, right? And our tube is so that we could save more than one victim if needed, because we could always give a non-swimmer this tube and it will help them to become a swimmer, and we could go for the other person. So all our equipments are very important when it comes to taking it out on a trip.
You know what I'm most impressed with, just listening to you, listening to you gentlemen? You're all young and you're all dedicated to what you're doing, and I think it's rare these days that you find young people with that quality, where you guys decided not only will you form a company, right, but that this is your livelihood, this is what you guys do. And I think that in itself is also commendable, right?
Thank you.
Because it's easy for older folk to write off the young people like, not gonna go out there, ABC, right? But to see this, and in the manner in which you guys carry yourselves, it's really, really impressive.
Thank you.
All right, so let's jump into another part of the conversation at this point. So, as Sabrina was mentioning, summertime, kids are out. They want to get involved in something that is either constructive or something that they can learn from. I'll use the example of what happened on Friday, as unfortunate as that incident was. So I have a 7-year-old son who just last Monday started swimming classes at the Y, right? And every chance that I get, I run over to the Y and check on make sure everything all right. Yeah. But then this incident happened on Friday, and we were watching it together, and he said, that is the reason why I need to learn how to swim, so that I'm able to, not only protect myself, but in the event, protect someone else too. Right. Now, what is the encouragement? Because it's easy to get kids to learn to swim. Perhaps it's more difficult with older people who
know the dangers of a water.
So what would be the advice to someone like my good friend Sabrina here?
Well, we teach.
I strongly urge her to come out and try her best to learn, because it's not hard. What keeps most adults back, like you said, is that fear. Because they know the danger of water. But as soon as that fear is gone, their body gets far lighter, and it's more easier for them to grasp on it and learning.
I think another area that I cannot miss an opportunity to bring up is the need for special needs children to learn how to swim as well. I think I'd go as far to say that there are people who have a view that maybe some special needs children might not have the ability, period, to learn how to swim. Is this something that you guys could speak more on?
Yeah. I have a client reach out to me a month ago, and she'd be like, Coach, she was crying, and she was like, Coach, I don't know what to do. I said, what are you talking about? She said, Coach, my child has special need, but I know I wish that he can come into the swimming class. I said, of course he can, because we're specialized by doing that. My mom used to teach at Stella Maris School for 18 years. She taught us, especially me and Tevin, patient. I have uncles who have special needs, and she was like, the first day she come to swimming classes, and she told me, why are you crying again? Why are you crying again? I said, why are you crying again? Because it's my son's first time at swimming classes. And literally these children, they have the smile on their face. They're willing to learn. They have a time span. But it might be different when you're teaching a child, with autistic, so we have that time span, because literally if you can do this in 30 minutes with them, do it as much as you can, because literally after 30 minutes,
attention level.
And especially when teaching a child with autism, like you have to start, you're teaching them flutter kicks, right? You do not change that kicks, because it's the way how their mind, project and different things like that.
I appreciate that, and just hearing your life story of learning that your mom was a teacher at Stella Maris, it almost feels like what took place on Friday was destiny. And when you think of how this story came full circle with now us having this conversation with special needs children getting this service that you now provide, how do you feel? How do you all feel as we wind down this conversation?
I'm always grateful to have the knowledge to give back to my community, a skill that is very important in Belize. They may not see it as important, but we do. And we're going to keep on pushing to teach as much people who are interested as possible. I'm really want to really involve it into the schools, because I know the schools doesn't find it as something important to be a part of their curriculum, but we do believe it is.
And Tevin teaches high school swimming classes.
Okay. Now, we started the conversation by saying that you guys also work with businesses and you go out with them. For people tuning in right now, wanting to understand a bit more about what that service is and if they can take advantage of it, what is it? Do you guys go when they have like trips and stuff like that, and you provide lifeguard services? Is that what it is?
Yeah, so whenever a company has staff trip and they reach out to us, we give them a full detail of what they're going to expect and what they should or should not provide. Now, we also give them advice what to do and what not to do. So it's not just going on monitoring them, but we also give precaution measures for them to follow.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because we do understand that when a business take a staff trip out, it's because they want to give their staff back a day to enjoy. So we are going to be the safety precaution for them while they go out and have fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I wish you guys all the best. I hope that your business only continues to grow and people really take advantage and take heed of the need, myself included, to learn to swim as well. We wish you guys all the best.
Thank you.
All right. We are, you were going to.
Whenever you're ready to learn, you could always reach out to us. And
I definitely will. I trust you with my life. I don't see you in action. All right, we are going to take a quick break first. And when we come back, we're going to get a second part of this conversation, speaking to the Coast Guard, the Belize Coast Guard, on their involvement with swimming as well, even touching on the matter of what took place on Friday and much more.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
In Belize, the Public Utilities Commission works every day amid the rhythm of economic activities to ensure homes, businesses, and communities have access to necessary utility services. Through regulations, the Public Utilities Commission powers progress, connect communities, encourage new ideas and bold innovation, manage consumer rights, guide change, and serves in the best interests of national development for a future that benefits us all. Every decision is informed by evidence and guided by regulations and the law. So if and when changes arise in any of Belize's utility sectors, including situations that may affect competition, regulations and laws allow the PUC to carefully assess those changes, ensuring consumers are treated fairly while maintaining a sustainable utility sector. The Public Utilities Commission, guided by the law, informed by evidence, working to ensure fair and sustainable utility services for Belize.
Belizean law protects children under 18. Marriage and adult romantic relationships with children are not allowed. The age of consent is 16, but children under 18 are not allowed to enter common law unions. Parents and guardians are legally responsible for their children until age 18, not their partners. These laws exist to keep children safe. Protection is everyone's responsibility.
To learn more, follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Insurance fact. Did you know with Home Protector Insurance, construction projects can receive insurance coverage from start to finish? We offer a variety of bonds. This includes bid bonds, advance payment bond, performance bonds, or others. Let Home Protector be a part of your team and help safeguard you through your next project. Visit any Home Protector Insurance office near you to learn more.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
We at Fulltech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Fulltech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy Inc. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full-Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Every business starts with a vision. And every day, Belizean entrepreneurs are turning that vision into reality.
Hi, I'm Rosalie, General Manager of Cards and Merchant Services at the Belize Bank. Today, I am proud to introduce our new solution designed specifically for Belize's small and medium-sized businesses.
Introducing the Belize Bank Advantage MasterCard SME Business Credit Card. Whether you're managing everyday expenses, purchasing inventory, or investing in growth, this card gives your business the flexibility to move forward with confidence. Applying is easy. Visit any Belize Bank branch and speak with one of our SME officers. We'll help you find a solution that best fits your business. Your business is building Belize's future. Let Belize Bank help power what's next.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. RF&G Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
And welcome back. Joining us for the next conversation are representatives of the Belize Coast Guard. We have in studio with us this morning Rear Admiral Greg Soberanes. He's the commandant of the Belize Coast Guard.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
He is joined by Lieutenant Commander, 2nd Fleet Commander David Ayala. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Along with them is Lieutenant Mark Chuck. He's the operations officer at the Coast Guard.
Good morning,
Mr. Chuck. And of course, we also have Lieutenant Rupert Pinello. He's the chief medic of the Belize Coast Guard. Gentlemen,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning again.
So we're continuing the conversation that we began with earlier in the show, but we're looking at it from a different perspective this time around. From the Coast Guard's ability to be able to respond to search and rescue operations out at sea, first of all, and perhaps in the rivers as well. Mr. Soberanes, let's begin by painting a scenario of a distress call coming in. So you guys get radioed or called, look, someone's missing at sea or there's a vessel adrift and we can't locate it. Let's start there.
Yeah, so let's put some context to the Belize Coast Guard search and rescue mandate. It is something that is legislated in the Belize Coast Guard Act, and we have both a domestic and international obligation when it comes to search and rescue. The way the Belize Coast Guard approaches search and rescue is from a structured, multi-tiered framework, response framework. And so it's a process. There are several considerations that we factor when we do or when we respond to incidents at sea, or in some cases incident in our rivers. So a part of the operational planning process is that we must look at risk factors. So all these things must be considered before we deploy. And so as it relates to the initial process of receiving that call, I'll have my operations officer, Lieutenant Mark Chuck. He is in charge of the Coast Guard Operation Center, who have our what standards and all these, the team that does all the coordination under his supervision. So I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Mark Chuck, who will speak to that process.
Yes, Mr. Chuck.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
It all begins with obviously a distress call. The Belize Coast Guard Operations Center is an office that is active 24/7 that monitors distress signals calls out at sea. And of course, a search and rescue operation commences only when there is information received. And I want to highlight that to the public, that information on these situations is very important for us to assist us in developing a plan or a response. Critical for us is when we receive this information, we gather and analyze this information to be able to coordinate a plan, and of course to develop a coordination and a response plan, whether it's supposed to be just Coast Guard alone or it's a multi-agency response. Information is very important for us. It assists the planning team. When there's a distress at sea, very important information that we look forward to receive is we need to determine what is the situation. Vessel capsize, or overdue vessels, fire on board, or someone drop overboard. All these scenarios or situations are different, and planning a response for these situations are different. So it's very important for us to determine what is the situation at sea, and of course we need to know the most recent or the last known location of where the situation occurred for us to have a starting point where to start to plan from. Also, we need to look at the conditions of the weather out at sea also. So when we receive this information, these are some key information that the Coast Guard Operations Center tries to acquire as quick as best as possible to give the planning team the relevant information to be able to plan a response.
I think of how critical time is when it comes to your operations. Whenever you get that distress call, depending on who's the one giving the information, it might be very limited. They might not know exactly where they are if they're out at sea. How do you go about navigating that when the information is limited, but there's someone on the other end of the line frantic and they just want they want their loved ones to be saved, or they want their loved ones to be found, or they want to be rescued? How do you navigate that?
That is, we have several instances where family members or people that are reporting, they're panicking and they're not giving the exact information that they require. However, our staff that are answering these calls, they are trained to try to control the situation and try to gather the relevant information. If we don't have it, our staff begin to coordinate with other agencies or other family members or other patrols to try to get the whole synopsis of the information. If we don't have it, we will not be able to respond because the sea space, for example, we have some very key information. We don't need to have all, but if we have the relevant information, we can be able to deploy. For example, the last known position is one of the most critical one. We need to know where the situation occurs. That is enough for us to do other planning, to consider current, to consider waves, wind, and those could be acquired through other means. But the key information from the person reporting is what happened, and of course where.
Let me inject something else. So there are times when, as Lieutenant Chuck said, where you don't have, in fact, many times you don't have all the information required or sufficient information, but it does not negate us from doing what we need to do as the search and rescue maritime agency for the country of Belize. So, for example, you will have times where the family will call and say, like in the last instance where they know the loved one left Key Kaka for instance.
I was just going to draw up a scenario with that.
And so generally they would be able to tell you. Normally they would from that area they would maybe go to Vista Del Mar. So you know there are only certain routes that can be taken to reach that particular destination. So we would normally start with a general area, and as we progress with the search and rescue efforts, we may find indicators where we can narrow down that search space. And as Lieutenant Chuck said, at the operations center, they have a system, a software where they can look at tide, current, wind, all these factors where we can calculate drift, whether the person is submerged, so all these things we need to look at as relates to time and space as we conduct these operations.
I presume that doing this at nighttime compounds the challenge?
It does. It really does. And so I'll have Lieutenant Commander Ayala speak to how we prepare our crews and the boat team to conduct these type of operations.
So good morning.
Good
morning. Just to have some context, we must understand that for our recruiting, so even before you join the Coast Guard, there is an individual requirement that a person must know how to swim. So there is a individual proficiency that these people need to go. They go through a one year apprenticeship program once they complete recruit training, after which there is a we call it qualifications or task book that they need to meet. Thereafter, they join the Coast Guard, and then they are able to go into any specialization, right? As is the Coast Guard have the capability of doing air, surface, and subsurface. And so whenever we get these calls, it will be alerted by the operations center. If it's a unit that is deployed, then they will be tasked to conduct that search. And so we have the three capabilities. So we have the drone component that now recently has been integrated into the search efforts. We have surface assets. In this case, it's the vessels that we have. And also we have the divers that can also assist, whenever these instances call for it. Now, these individuals, to come up with a team requires teamwork, and also requires proficiency in specific fields. So whenever we deployed a team, usually we would have a combination whereby we will have like a coxswain, a very qualified individual who is trained enough to be able to navigate the waters both at day and at night, just to clear one of your concerns. Likewise, we have an engineer that is on board that is able to ensure that that vessel is as capable to conduct that mission. Likewise, we have lookouts, and sometimes we also have medics that are on board, to be able to assist with first aid. So they ensure that the assets are ready to deploy, ensuring that they are ready within 10 minutes of that call that the operations center provides, either if they are on a patrol base at sea or at the headquarters. But there is a lot of training and a lot of drills that these individuals go through. Like when they're on deployment, sometimes it's not a search and rescue, but they have a man overboard drill, for example, to test their efficiency and to try to meet, that proficiency. Likewise, they have sometimes it's just a drill that we call, okay, you need to get ready, you need to deploy now. And so we time to make sure that they meet the 10-minute mark, because that is the time that we have to respond. And
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Wow.
Let me go over to Lieutenant Pinello as the chief medic.
Yes, sir.
What is that scenario like? So now you're at sea, someone is in distress, perhaps it's man overboard, and you are able to get that person back onto the vessel. What takes place at that point?
Well, good morning, first of all. Well, you already dropped the scenario. Good thing about the Coast Guard that we receive training with dealing with sea, land, and air. So we are specialized in that area. And as well, since I studied in Mexico City for 5 years, I know all the drills that have been put all through that scenarios. But if we get to distress at sea, all right, so like how the the ops lieutenant mentioned, we just have to get ready within 10 minutes. We are open 24 hours. We have 2 duty medics that are available during that period of time. All right, so if we get distress call in, let's say in the day or at night, we will deploy. All right, so once we get deployed, we have to carry our own medikit. Our own medikit that has everything dealing with severe bleeding, airway, respiration, circulation, and even hyperthermia. You know, hyperthermia is the most critical one during at night because it could be raining, the sea is rough and everything. So we are trained since we do once we approach the distressed person, we do a full examination from head to toe, right? So we do take their vitals and we ask the person if he's orientated, he's confused, he's everything. We do a full scenario. If the patient needs an IV, we do put an IV on that patient. So we will go by everything. So it is, even though if the sea is rough, we have to get that IV done.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's.
I want to quickly ask about scenarios of going out searching for people. Like the one that we have been reporting on the news in Key Cocker, perhaps searching at nighttime. Do you find, I'd like to understand maybe of what the situation would look like when you find these persons. Are they floating in the water? Are they below, in the water itself? Like,
so it's important for the public to understand. For us as a Coast Guard, it's not just sending vessels out to sea or sending personnel out to sea or sailors out to sea. As mentioned earlier, it's a structured, well thought out plan.
Carefully coordinated.
Correct. And properly coordinated, whether it's internal to the organization or if other agencies are involved. In this particular instance, we had support from the Belize Port Authority, the Belize Fisheries Department, and even the Belize Police Department. So it requires, one, having an unseen coordinator on the ground, and then the oversight from the headquarters. In this instance, it would be Lieutenant Chuck. But we look at several things. Even in, like I said before, we deploy. We look at the space that we're operating in. We look at the sea state. So all these conditions will determine, one, which search pattern will be used, because there are different search pattern that is used depending, like I said, on the space, on the sea state, and all these factors that we need to look at. Obviously, at nighttime, it becomes more difficult. Because you don't want to be searching for the person and then you accidentally run over the person while searching for the person. So it really becomes more complex when you're doing a night search and rescue operation. We have done it in the past where our teams have been deployed and our guys have the equipment to be able to either use that searchlight, but like I said, there are certain risk factors that really we have to look at in order to mitigate further danger to the person that we're searching for.
Would a body likely be floating though in the water when you guys go out searching?
It depends. For the most recent case, when a person is in the water, more likely will be floating. If the person is a good swimmer, they probably might be treading water. The survival instincts of a person kicks in when there's a distress situation at sea. More likely we'll find them hanging on to some kind of improvised flotation device.
But if they've drowned?
If they drown, then it will be a different scenario. If someone drowned, definitely within the first couple of hours, you won't be able to locate them. They will be at the bottom.
That's what I'm trying to understand.
So and these guys can chime in at any time. We have been doing dive operation for years now. Even I myself, in the past was a part of the Coast Guard dive team. One of the things that we have seen is that traditionally, you've always been told that a body takes 3 days to surface. We have never seen that happen. Usually it's after 24 hours, within 48 hours, you'll see that body surface to the top. and given the state of the body, you can make a determination as to how long that person has been submerged and that type of thing. So all these things, rigor mortis would step in. And usually, once they're deceased, you'll find them face down, floating face down.
All right, so I want to take all of what we've described as a protocol out at sea and draw up a scenario using the very same operation mechanism in a riverine system, like the one that happened on Friday at the Belize River. Let's respond to that one.
When it comes to those, it's quite similar. However, what difference it is that the area of operation is smaller,
more contained, right?
It's more contained. However, there are other things to consider. Is the buoyancy at sea and buoyancy in river is not the same.
You have salt.
The depth of the river is not the same with the depth at sea. Again, someone's survival rate at sea may be a little bit higher because the buoyancy at sea is a little bit better, but in the river, it's once someone is not a good swimmer in the river, it's straight at the bottom you're going because there's little to no buoyancy. Yeah, but when we respond, like for example, the most recent case we had, again, I mentioned information is very important. In that case, we have to try to iron out all those misinformation. That will determine how we respond. The most recent one is the case with the young lady that dropped in the river by Belize River. In that case, we were receiving information. Some were saying, some of the information reaching the office stating that she dropped in the canal. Others stating it dropped in the river. So that kind of has to be determined. Because
then people are saying, send a boat, send a boat.
Yeah. And then that will determine, do we need divers? Do we need a vessel? Do we need what? So it is important to get all those facts before we deploy. But the response time, the equipment employed are quite similar. It's just that information gathered must be accurate as best as possible.
And I want to add to what Lieutenant Chuck is saying. When it comes to riverine operations, there are certain risks that are involved when it comes to the river because of flooding. A lot of times what you find in rivers are a lot of debris. And I can tell you from personal experience, conducting dive operations over the years for the Coast Guard, where let me go back to the misinformation, because like with that particular incident, when we first received the call, we were told it was the Whitfield community in the canal. And we were about to send the vessel by sea to enter the canal, you know, and it was not until we were on the ground that our guys called and said, "Sir, it's not at the canal; it's actually in the river." So sometimes you'll find that the information is not correct. But we responded. We had personnel from the headquarters who were available at the time to respond. And as well as we had personnel from our special operations team who were a part of the dive operation that assisted with the recovery of the young lady. But to go back to the riverine operations, there are a lot of debris in the river that you will not see with the natural eyes. Hence the reason why as a Coast Guard, we don't just jump in. Because sometimes you might have logs, stick that are protruding that you're not seeing at the surface.
How do you navigate that?
Yeah. So normally what we do is that we go in and we do like somewhat like a clearance to ensure that one, the area is safe for us to go in. And so all these things we consider. I'll tell you what happened one time. We were searching for a missing person in the river. Diving, we had tanks at the time, but because of the flooding and all the debris, one of our divers got caught up in all the debris. Because many times, you don't have visibility. You don't have visibility, so it's by touch and by feel. And his BC, his tank, got caught up in the debris. And this is where the training comes in, because if you panic, you are going to die. You will become a victim yourself. That individual was able to to remove his BC and navigate all the debris, and was able to exit. So there are several factors that we need to look at as the Coast Guard when we conduct these operations. So thankfully on Friday, we were able to recover the body of the young lady. Unfortunate incident.
My final question. So you guys respond to a scene where perhaps someone is already, or in this case, a group of young men were already there, lending the effort to try to recover or rescue this individual. Do you guys then immediately take over the entire operation, or how does that coordination between the Coast Guard and any other lifeguard or any other agency work?
Normally what we do is that we become the on-scene coordinator, because there are times when you have other parties who are willing to assist, but because they don't get the training we get, there are certain considerations that they don't factor. You know, so it's more than just an emotional response. It's a safety response. So we also think about the safety of our personnel going into the environment, and so we would coordinate because and for example, Mr. Chuck can tell you when he was coordinating the one at sea, you created search areas, and then you have designated areas that you send in different teams to, and he can speak to that.
So coordination is very important. When you get on the scene, someone must take charge. As he previously mentioned, that the Coast Guard is obligated to conduct maritime search and rescue operation, and we are the one who will be held accountable if anything goes wrong. So we would appreciate all those help, but at the end of the day, the Coast Guard still take charge to provide guidance so that we all parties involved do a safe search and rescue operation.
Well, as we wind down this conversation, for people who would like to understand the process of how to reach out if there's any type of maritime threat or any type of safety measures that needs to be put in place, help even, how do they do that if they need to reach out to the Coast Guard?
The Coast Guard have a 24 hours operation center that is active. It is manned by several operators both day and night. There's an emergency line that they can reach out to. It's 999. I can leave the information with you guys so you could have it published for the public. But definitely the Coast Guard can reach out to the office via the emergency line or a office line, or even those at sea, the mariners that have a channel 16 on board, they can also reach via the channel 16. And those information, those distress calls will be monitored. Even if those mariners have a EPIRB or a distress device on board, we will be able to pick up that distress signal, and we can deploy an asset to the air to investigate the situations. So that level of capabilities the Coast Guard Operations Center does have at the moment.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate the opportunity to discuss the work that you guys do and how other people can benefit as well.
Yes.
We wish you guys all the best.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, we take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, our next conversation is digital literacy, building digital skills for Belize's future.
Begins with an opportunity, and every opportunity has the power to change a life. This year, Belize Bank proudly welcomes 16 outstanding new scholars during its 14th annual Scholarship Awards ceremony, recognizing young Belizeans whose academic excellence, leadership, and determination inspire us all.
When I look around the room today, I see future entrepreneurs who will build businesses. I see future doctors who will heal families. I see engineers who will design infrastructure, teachers which will inspire the next generation.
For Belize Bank, a scholarship is more than financial assistance. It's a commitment to each student's future through guidance, encouragement, and mentorship from members of our management team. Today, we celebrate 16 new scholars, more than 250 lives transformed. one shared future. Because when we empower our youth, we empower our nation.
So it started off like any other summer day in Belize. I decided to go down to Builders Hardware since I hear they had 25% off on summer outdoor products. I got a couple of items, a chair, a grill, a cooler, and I got carried away, but the prices were so good. But anyways, I might have gotten comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Then I saw the news, man, the hurricane season was not playing with me. But thank God Builders also had 25% off hurricane preparedness items as well. Flashlights, batteries, sealant, first aid kits, everything I need. And guess what? My grill survived.
KTV The Remix Season 8 is bringing the heat every Tuesday night. Experience Belize's biggest singing competition live from the Bliss as your favorite contestants battle it out on stage with unforgettable performances. The show starts at 8 p.m. sharp, so don't be late. Get your tickets today at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center and come be a part of the excitement. KTV The Remix Season 8, where Belize's next superstar takes the stage. See you every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on GBM.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100# key. No stress, no waiting. Just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Her phone, her laptop, her whole life in this apartment. If anything happens, it's more than just a loss. It's everything. R&D Renters Insurance helps protect what matters most, even when you don't own the place. Enhanced service and faster sickness benefit claim processing are at your fingertips with SSB's healthcare feature, accessible via the My Social Security self-service portal. Your convenience during illness is key. Now your doctor can certify your period of illness, and your employer can confirm your employment details digitally, eliminating the need to visit our office. But wait, it gets better. You can also review the medical certificate provided by your doctor in your My Social Security account, along with real-time processing updates, keeping you informed. To ensure a smooth process, always review your electronic medical certificate before you hit submit. Upon submission, your employer is notified via email of your claim submitted to SSB and must respond within 48 hours for your claim to be automatically processed. For more information, check out our guides on our website and YouTube pages. Social Security at your fingertips.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. We're jumping into our next conversation, and it's all about digital literacy. Now, we are going to be unpacking building digital skills for Belize's future. We are joined by different representatives to guide us in this conversation. We have here with us Tremit Perriott. He is the Change Management Manager. And I never forgot that title. You are in charge of managing management from the Ministry of E-Governance. And we're also joined by Egbert Irvin. He is the Director of the Institutional Advancement Office at the University of Belize. And we have here with us, also no stranger to you guys, Dr. Maxine McKay. She is a curriculum specialist. Guys, thanks so much for joining us and welcome.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us.
A lot of people could benefit from a lesson or two on digital literacy. I'll tell you, even me in my young age, not feel that digitally literate at times. So let's talk about what brought about this actual initiative in the first place? Let's begin there.
Okay, well, I guess it's
E-governance,
us.
management of manager?
Well, yes. Manager. The digital agendas have been created for this particular purpose. The pillars point towards our ministry building, delivering, supporting digital advancement, digital literacy advancement, digital transformation across the public sector. And so we felt that it was necessary for us to reach out to the normal person to improve on digital literacy, their digital knowledge of how to maneuver whatever platform, whatever devices, just general knowledge in itself. And we're so lucky to have University of Belize with us to embark on that. We also have BCCI who are doing their own program. I find it is a necessary component to people, for people. Nowadays, the younger generation, they got this. They're digital babies. But people like myself, like you, we might be generally okay, but there's so much going on so quickly.
And you can't reject it. It's almost becoming forced on you.
It's already here.
Yeah.
And for protection's sake, a major part of it, as Brother Irving and I were speaking about, for protection's sake, for people, this is a major program, right? So it's not just to be able to use, for them to use the different platforms and use the different services, but also for digital protection.
So how will this look? Is it going to be like a course coming out of the university and designing this curriculum for students, or is it for anyone that's interested in just navigating digital devices, maybe like me and Isani, not enrolled at UB, but we want to brush up our skills on some of these, techniques and things you'd need to know?
Right. The last time we were here, we spoke about the launch of the program, and we're here at the tail end of the program. So we're happy of the successful culmination of the objectives. And so this program was designed, and our program specialist, curriculum specialist, Dr. McKay and her team, able to put together the various thematic areas, which included using your devices, accessing the various platforms, particularly e-government services that have now are now online. It includes safety online, so your ability to identify scams, the ability to set good passwords, good etiquette and hygiene when you're online.
Yeah.
It also included banking and e-commerce strategies, and so it was designed with the average person in mind. It wasn't necessarily, it's not a UB course per se, it's a national program, as Mr. Perrett mentioned, and so we need to cater for a wide cross-section of persons, and so the material was designed in that way. Now when we approach different target groups, you adjust that to suit their various levels. So we had inbuilt the pre-evaluation for us to be able to identify what were some of the major needs, so we could focus and concentrate on that, as well as some post-evaluation for persons to say exactly what they learned from the program. It also included a digital clinic. So for persons who needed additional assistance and additional support, the Digital Buddies program provided that extended
What is interesting
services.
is that you have one area or aspect of digital literacy that speaks to your ability to perhaps navigate the social media space, or your understanding of how to use a device properly.
Right.
But what is interesting to me is that a good amount of users remain very gullible and vulnerable to information coming to them through the digital space, right? That's why you have people who live on scamming.
Right.
They prey on the vulnerability and the gullibility of the users.
Right.
So even though they know how to use a device, or they know how to navigate Facebook or Twitter, they're still naive to a lot of things that are happening out there.
Right.
So how do you now teach them how to be mindful and have their guards up when it comes to certain curious or questionable information?
Yeah, that's very interesting that you
point out about scamming because our research and report suggests that most of the participants scamming, their understanding of scamming and how to navigate scamming was about 65.5%. That was what impacted them the most. In terms of internet safety, you know, how to share your information, like, you know, they have like hacking, like not only through internet spaces, but through your WhatsApp, etc. So scamming was one of the most pivotal thing that we saw coming out of the program, that they felt that they understood it enough to feel a little bit more safe into the internet highway and use of WhatsApp, etc. Even Facebook, we tell them make sure that when you log out of a device, don't leave your logon on, your stuff on, whether it's at a work computer, a desk computer. And I must also add, in terms of the curriculum, it was not only for the regular citizens, we also included for persons with disability.
Oh, nice.
So we had BCVI participating, people with visual impairment. So in terms of adjusting that, we had like pictures, like things that they could have touched if we were teaching about the computer, how the computer feels. We also had for persons in wheelchair, how do you access, you know, internet space if you were visually impaired, if you were deaf. So it was overall inclusive. One of the participants that we targeted were women, and about 54% percentage were women. So we did reach women, we did reach elderly population, the person with disability, as I said. Our target was 700, but we actually exceeded the target to 754, and it was across the country. So with the safety, we also spoke to the BDF soldiers. So it wasn't only the citizens within the public arena. We spoke to BDF, we dealt with police, we dealt with persons who were incarcerated, with the youth population. So it's a cross section of persons that we dealt with. And I must say that we still have issues with scamming, because one program that began like earlier this year, around March we began, is not enough, because scamming is a serious issue, Mr. Sani. But we do understand that the participants, based on their report, they better understand scamming, and that is one of the things that we wanted them to understand, that you can't leave yourself vulnerable to the internet.
I think on one end you have the example of people like Isani mentioned who are gullible to these things, right?
Very
and then
gullible.
I think on the other end you have people who are hypersensitive and they're scared of the internet even. And I think of an aunt that I have, Tremont, where she's not even open to paying her bills online.
I had an aunt like that.
And I think of the role and the work of e-governance, which is mandated to digitize the government, really. And in a lot of cases, you might have to put in personal, sensitive, private information. How do you make this appealing to people who have that fear? That the moment they punch in their details and their bank, everybody know it.
Correct.
That's an excellent question. See, a major issue that we've been discussing from the start of this thing was how to reach the elderly and to change, in a sense, their attitudes towards the benefits and the safeties and the rigors of traversing the digital atmosphere, digital ecosystem. My aunt was the same. She was the same. She didn't do anything online. If she wanted anything done, she would talk to my cousins to do it.
Same.
Right? And part of the program that University of Belize did was to teach and inspire digital bodies to go out. These are people within those kids, children, students within those communities. And personally, I find that my aunt would prefer her sons and her nephews and her nieces to do those things for her. I don't know if they will ever want to.
Yeah, and they say you take the risk. I put my money there.
I don't know if they will ever want to, but having people in the vicinity, having people accessible to them that they trust to do it, I think that would be a major solution to that scenario. And it's up to us, incumbent upon us, to make sure that those persons are comfortable, are as knowledgeable as they can be with the digital ecosystem, the digital sphere. Is it 100%? Nothing is 100%, right? And the spamming and the phishing and all of that is changing daily. people call you, hey, my friend. Like, what? Who is this?
I don't
know you're from Adams.
Yes.
Your friend.
Right?
Yeah.
But I think some of those techniques, your ability to identify
Correct.
scams, your ability to be safe online, your ability to understand the back end of the digital services will be an important part of alleviating some of those fears and increasing the trust. But at the same time, you know, you always have to keep that small sliver of doubt, even for us, you know, who are savvy. We know that things happen, and so we just have to understand that there might be some remedial measures that we have to take from time to
I
time.
don't trust anything online that I haven't sanctioned or commissioned to communicate with me. That are my natural barrier.
Right.
And now with AI, it gets even more scary.
Oh, yes.
How can you tell the difference? My mother got her fancy watch. I call it fancy watch. That connects her to the doorbell, everything in the house.
Yeah.
And it misses some things. Sometimes you ring the bell, it doesn't come through. And so we've had to tell her, hey, while it is nice, be mindful that a lot of things
could happen outside of that.
happen outside of the parameters of those devices. Likewise, you have to be mindful of the different scams.
Correct.
And my sister took time and showed her, hey, this is the one right here. Now fast, when you see something like this, when you see numbers like this, when someone is speaking to you over a thing like this, right? And she's like, oh, okay, but my mother is my mother.
Right.
Most older folks, I can't say, well, I get my fan. The more seasoned the people, mature people, don't want anything to do with that. They just want to watch their shows and live the rest of their life in peace.
Yeah.
And so we have to try and get the younger people to be a part of their journey to an extent as much as they would like. And in so doing, by helping the younger people learn, grow, they will teach their younger children how to progress like that. No?
So we concluded the project. It's at the end of its phase. What's the reflection now that we are at the end of it? Do we see ourselves revising it, adding new details to it, inviting more people to come out and spread the word?
Excellent question, and that's some of the conversations we were having right before we came on the show. So some of the innovative things that we did, really, we paired the content in terms of digital literacy with other things. So for example, we were able to package a robotics workshop with the digital literacy. So we attracted younger folks. We were able to have tea and tech, which was for more mature audiences. So they came together, they talked about wellness, they spoke about health.
I love it.
Yeah, they socialized, they had their tea and their snacks, and then the digital literacy was interwoven in that. We had a workshop where we provided information on labeling. So persons who were interested in value added, in their own small manufacturing things that they're doing. So that added value outside of that digital literacy. We converted the course as well through the assistance of our curriculum specialists to CPD points. So a large segment of our audience were actually teachers.
I imagine.
And so for that continuity that you're talking about, and in that module, what we did, we included elements of AI. Artificial intelligence, so how they could incorporate that in their lesson planning and in their instructions. And so that in and of itself will have legs, because as you know, those CPD points are important for teachers. On average, they need to get about 24, 25 per year. And so this can, you know, we can have some sustainability where that's concerned. So we see by our ability to do that, along with the Kobe Foundation, actually they said they would like to work with us some more, you know, so we could bring more programs to those persons who are captured audiences. And so we see very much outside of this project, the University of Belize will certainly take on some of those initiatives and continue to push
Excellent.
forward.
So I imagine that will manifest itself in the future as well. But if there's anyone who maybe is interested in being a part of any of these sessions when it comes about again, how can they do so?
Well, I think contacting the University of Belize Office of Institutional Advancement would be a good place to start. What we do there as well, we're responsible for projects and consultancies, so we can put together customized programs for persons who are interested in various elements of whether it's training, capacity building, or any other area of that they might have some interest in. And of course, the university has a broad spectrum of experts that we can tap into to build those programs that they would like, right?
Yeah.
So that would be
that's one avenue as well. And
I must add that the course is actually on our Moodle page.
Okay.
Yeah, we can access it, and they can do quizzes, etc. So we did different things with the curriculum, so they can access it if they want to do a course.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And with the Ministry of E-Governance, we have an eGov Academy, which we're working on developing for initially the public service members, right? Specifically for now. As a matter of fact, we're trying to connect with UB on this venture as well, to expand it to a larger sector of the country. And I think that many programs are going on at this point in time that's really helping this mindset, this culture development. You know, the Ed Tech was last week. You have Dr. Joanne Coleman, who has her program. So a lot of these programs are coming together, and we're working together to make a better digitally ready community, digitally ready society. And we hope that in the next 5 or 6 years, more than less people are prepared for what we are in.
Excellent. Well, that's a beautiful way to close off this discussion. We thank you guys so much for joining us and sharing what the digital literacy project looked like, and of course the success of it. And we wish you guys all the best in the future ones coming up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thanks to all who made this a success.
Thanks to UB and BCCI, as well as Ministry of E-Governance. We really want to make this happen for people.
And IDB.
And IDB.
And of course.
And all the money, guys. Come on.
All the trainers
all the trainers and the
administrators.
Lots of people involved.
The IA team.
All right. Well, we have to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, Isani needs to know all the details about his shopping this weekend. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the Downtown Super Sale, bringing business and shoppers back downtown.
Our grid reached across Belize, it was built by generations of Belizeans committed to connecting communities and powering progress. Through the hands, the dedication, and the vision of our people, the grid grew. With a nation built through strength and resilience, and a network built pole by pole. Today, that responsibility continues, strengthened by every hand that follows. Each generation building on the last and carrying forward a shared responsibility, serving communities, powering schools, hospitals, businesses, and homes, supporting a nation that continues to grow. Belize Electricity Limited, built to serve, serving Belize.
Hi, my name is Megan, and I'm a civil engineer here at M&M Engineering. Behind every successful production process in our factory come quality materials, skilled employees, and reliable equipment. Specifically, rebar and pre-stressing cable from Benny's, which are the building blocks of our products.
Not all rebar and steel are created equal. At Benny's, quality is savings because building with trusted materials means building stronger, safer, and longer.
Through Benny's Enterprises and Banquet, M&M Engineering has access to the highest quality products and heavy-duty machinery that help us improve efficiency, maintain productivity, and provide the most reliable solutions to our clients.
Best for you and best for me. At Benny's, it's the quality. Benny's, quality and saving.
KTV The Remix Season 8 is bringing the heat every Tuesday night. Experience Belize's biggest singing competition live from the Bliss as your favorite contestants battle it out on stage with unforgettable performances. The show starts at 8 p.m. sharp, so don't be late. Get your tickets today at Greater Belize Media on Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center, and come be a part of the excitement. KTV The Remix Season 8, where Belize's next superstar takes the stage. See you every Tuesday at 8 p.m. only on GBM.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
In Belize, the Public Utilities Commission works every day amid the rhythm of economic activities to ensure homes, businesses, and communities have access to necessary utility services. Through regulations, the Public Utilities Commission powers progress, connect communities, encourage new ideas and bold innovation, manage consumer rights, guide change, and serves in the best interests of national development for a future that benefits us all. Every decision is informed by evidence and guided by regulations and the law. So if and when changes arise in any of Belize's utility sectors, including situations that may affect competition, regulations and laws allow the PUC to carefully assess those changes, ensuring consumers are treated fairly while maintaining a sustainable utility sector. The Public Utilities Commission, guided by the law, informed by evidence, working to ensure fair and sustainable utility services for Belize.
Welcome back. This is our final conversation this morning, but certainly not the least for you guys prepping for this weekend's blowout sale. We're talking the Downtown Super Sale, bringing business and shoppers back downtown. And we could not do that. We really can't have that type of conversation without the people from the Belize City Council. We are joined this morning by no strangers to you guys. We have Ms. Michelle Smith. She's the communications manager. We have Ms. Melicia McDougall. She's the marketing manager, both from the Belize City Council. We also have Ms. Shani Reed. She's the marketing coordinator from the Angelus Press. And we have Mr. Jorge Gentle. He's the manager of Beltrade, the SBDC Belize
yes.
Beltrade.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You know, I'm looking at the weather outside, guys, and I know they have some people who might say, I don't know if I want to make it. But I can promise you, we don't want to stop the reggae jam. We want to send the rain somewhere else. We want to press some brief pause button. We have to come out with raincoat, with rain boots, whatever we need to do.
Well, you can get those out there.
Yes.
It's back to school.
Yes. I like your marketing. I really like it.
Yes.
But let's get a brief overview of what's taking place this weekend. A lot of people are anticipating the GST free weekend, but you guys are here to share that there's much more that they can expect.
Well, yes, this Saturday, which is August the 15th,
yes.
Payday. You know, we're getting ready for that time of the year again, reopening of school, and so the Belize City Council cannot have school open but without a back to school super sale. And so, oh my God, this day will be filled with so many deals and sale, because when you think back to school super sale, you're thinking of getting the best deal now. So everybody, they save that money there for the 15th. But the council continue to promote these community events, promoting local economic development, you know, and you won't just hear from us. As you can see, this year we have the MSME Roadshow joining us, and he's here to speak about what they will contribute to the super sale, and of course Angela's Press. And when you think of Angela's Press, you think of
back to school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But beside Angela's Press, we have all the other heavy hitters. School store with us. We have A&R, we have Stationery House, we have Full Tech, so you could get your laptop and so forth. And so they're here with us to give us what they will be providing on this day, But yes, this day it starts at 10 and it finishes at 6 p.m. Albert Street. We have all the downtown stores also participating. The name is Downtown Super Sale, so we have the downtown businesses with us too.
I like the element of the MSME Roadshow being a part of it. Jorge, talk about why you guys decided to be involved in this year's downtown super sale.
No, definitely, and I think it's intentional. The planning started months ago, and we reached out to the council to find out when their super sale would have been, and we strategically scheduled the MSME Roadshow stop in Belize City, which is happening starting off today with day one with the boot camp. Tomorrow we have the formalization clinic, and then, as I mentioned, intentionally we are partnering with the Belize City Council for our Buy Belizean Expo, integrating it into the super sale that's happening this Saturday. Again, in order for us to be efficient, collaborate, instead of doing something isolated, let's join forces, and we've been doing that with all the municipalities, and we thank the Belize City Council for inviting us and allowing us to partner with them. Again, this would be our second roadshow that we are doing that with them. So we have 30 MSMEs that have participated in the different roadshow stops, as well as in Belize City that will be partaking. Artisans, food vendors, service providers that will be part, along with other that the Belize City Council has.
And I must add, when they said they wanted to partner with us and they will invite MSME business with us, I'm like, please let me see your list, because I don't want any duplication.
And that's what I was thinking.
And
I
I
imagine
must
some
say,
of them already.
we don't have any duplication.
Oh, that's excellent.
We don't, and we have over 120 vendors, and they're bringing 30
as well,
Wow.
And we don't have any duplication.
But it also goes to show that the businesses that we have been grooming over the years, that they also are now a part of this movement. And they've been a part of the movement for quite a while. So it expands our reach, and it also expands the gravity of the economic growth and activity that has happened over the years. And especially since the super sale have been up and running, our residents really look forward to particularly the back to school event, because they have the opportunity to actually save. I think one of the most impactful for this super sale is the GST free weekend, because not only that you get that 20% that stores must give to be part of the event, you also get that additional GST off of your purchase. So but remember,
that's almost like 50%.
Exactly. Remember, it is just for back to school items, laptops, bags, and all of those other things. So be mindful when you make your list.
Yeah, no, don't go choir about nothing.
Yes, exactly.
Let's get Miss Reed in the conversation. She's from the Angelus Press. And as we mentioned earlier, when you think of stationery, school supplies, you think of Angelus Press. Miss Reed, though, I imagine people want to get their hands on everything that you guys have to offer. What are some of the special deals that people can expect when they go out to the super sale this weekend?
So this weekend we have our first deal starts this Friday. Which is the printer. We have HP printer. It's selling for only $175. It starts in office this Friday, but it also will be available at the downtown sale. Additional to that, we have every school supply you would want. The basic essentials, we have those available. We have sharpeners starting at $1. Pens, paper, everything you need for a school. Apart from that, we have backpacks, 20% off all our backpacks at the downtown sale, as well as at our Queen Street store as well.
When I think of Angelus Press, as I said, I think that it's kind of like that stop that will take place inevitably.
Yes.
Why do you guys still feel the need to be a part of the super sale and collaborate with the Belize City Council?
I think our goal for this year is to give as much savings to customers this year, because we could have, we're close to the downtown sale, we could have just have it there, but we want to offer big savings to everybody. One of our big saving items would be like markers. We have permanent markers for only $5. Apart from just doing the 20%, we're literally giving the best deal ever for this weekend only. Apart from that, we also want to include items like electronics. We are taking out laptops, tablets, smartwatches. We want to showcase more than just back to school items. Even though all the items are not GST free, we are extending discounts on other items as well.
Yeah.
That's good.
I know, it is great. So give us the details of how people can navigate this weekend, because with 150 vendors out there, I imagine that will be congested.
Yes, it will be.
How's that going to look for people walking through?
We have to close Albert Street, and so when you come over the swing bridge, you won't be allowed to come Albert Street, and so you will have to detour Water Lane and use the canal for parking. You also have the William David Fonseca parking lot on Regent Street where you can park, because we will only close on Regent Street, we will only close the portion in front of the court. Right? So you can use the canal and you can also use Regent Street. You have parking at
behind the courthouse as well.
I still call it Romax Plaza.
There is that.
You have parking there now. So you have that whole stretch that you can use, but I will encourage people to, foot traffic, come out on foot, walk. You have the taxi stands out there that can, assist with, taking your load, but come out for a day that will be full with saving, excitement, and just...
You have any entertainment as well?
Of course. Well, food, when it comes to food, when I think of the food, the list just going, you have barbecue, you have barbecue chicken, lobster, pork, lamb chop, rice and beans, chimole, escabeche, you name it. And of course, our food court will be in the Battlefield Park where you can sit down and enjoy your food. Of course, we have entertainment. We have Super Fura Band, we have Nuwani Martinez and his group, along with Super J, and he just celebrated this big 50, so he's still celebrating. So of course we have Orchid Zone, and with the MSME Roadshow joining us this year, we're taking Orchid Zone 1 block down. So we're going all the way to Dean Street.
So it's a much bigger event than ever, than we've ever had. The Kids Zone in particular, I love the Kids Zone because there are some parents that would come, drop off their children and just
navigate.
Yes, they do. But we want to discourage that, especially the fact that the Kids Zone will be all the way down. One of the other elements for the MSME Roadshow is that there will be the food court for the normal food court that's located at Battlefield, but within the MSME collection, there will be also pockets of food and drinks in those areas as well, because they have their particular block, as mentioned, that they will be populating. So for that, you don't have to worry if you miss that food zone. There will be another opportunity for you when you're walking all the way down. You don't have to think, oh my God, I have to go way down back. No. There will be opportunities for you to enjoy some really good food and wonderful drinks down that side too.
And like I mentioned, beside Angela's Press, we have Full Tech with us. When you purchase a laptop or an iPad, you get a free school bag, a free mouse
pad
and a water bottle. And of course you have A&R, you have stationery house, and I know people will be out there looking for deals, and as Mel said, for you to be a part of the downtown super sale, you must have a specific item, or it can be your entire store, 20% discount and more.
Well, you know, there you heard it. The least you want to sit at 20% discount, which means there's more that you will be saving automatically. Let's talk about the time frame. You mentioned that it starts at 10 a.m.
It starts 10 a.m. and it finishes at 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
But remember, people come out before
because the
10
downtown
a.m.
stores open their usual time, 8 o'clock.
Right.
So you have Brody's, you have the Barry, you have the plaza itself, they open 8. So people are down there before. But I must say, we normally close the street at 6, but we're doing it at 5 because some of the heavy hitters like Angelo's Press and A&R, they take a while to set up and they ask for additional space. So you know that they're bringing it bigger than the years
Bigger than
before.
usual.
Yes.
I think one of the coolest elements of this is the anticipation that our residents have, and every year they just wait. Some people come out when they were open. I noticed one lady last year, so Angela's not reached yet.
Oh gosh.
At 8 o'clock. The thing start 11, like 10. Well, 10,
I mean,
but wait.
it's Wednesday. You have a Sunday to say he done got the outfit put on the side of the bed ready for Saturday.
You're going to fast, but I want to notice that with our
I mean, you don't have to buy school supply, but you could enjoy the food.
And entertainment.
Entertainment. And of course, the drink.
Right.
Yes, absolutely. Well, guys, it's always a pleasure having you here, especially when it comes to these deals and these types of interactions that I know people really look forward to every single year and even throughout the year from the Belize City Council. We know that it's going to be a lively event. We know that it's going to bring out a lot of people, and we trust that it will also be safe as well. Right. So thank you guys so much.
Of course, we work along with the police, but I just want to add one thing that I forgot to add. I know we kept mentioning school supply, but we also have Mikado, you have Swamis, you have Little Melchor that will be joining us where you can get uniforms.
Yes.
Deals on uniforms. Yes, and materials. Exactly.
I would just like to also slip in that, as I mentioned, the roadshow is here in Belize City. So it starts off today as well. So an additional plus for businesses who are participating, they can get capacity building. We're at the Civic Center today and tomorrow. So today is a full day of boot camp. We're actually starting off that opening ceremony shortly before 9. And it's a full day of training, information from different agencies. Tomorrow we're going to be having close to 25 different agencies, the financial institutions, BCCR, the Belize Tax Service, to support small businesses as well. So we invite viewers, small businesses, entrepreneurs who want to start a business to also join us at the roadshow today and tomorrow at the Civic Center, and also then come out and buy Belizean on Saturday.
Excellent.
The formalization clinic is extremely important because it allows small businesses that have questions about certain taxes that they need to start either paying or understand, like the trade license, for example, liquor.
So the council will have a booth out there.
Also participate as
but
well.
there are other agencies like the tax services that will be there as well. So if there are any questions whatsoever as it relates to how do you how do you apply for these things, this is the perfect opportunity to do that
as well. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, we do have to wrap things up at this time, Isani. It is that hour, and we thank everyone who has joined us this morning, and also you guys for engaging with us. It is August 12th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oie@greaterbelize.com. You can also catch us on our social media pages. We have Facebook, that's Open Your Eyes BZ, Instagram for behind the scenes content, that's OIE Belize. You can even catch us on TikTok. We got TikTok. And that's openyoureyes.bz. And then you can also call us or text us on our OIE phone number. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow when you open your eyes.
To start your morning right.
Until then, be sure to keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Wednesday. It's Hump Day. We hope you have a fantastic morning and the rest of the day. And then we'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.